Leo, 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 here comes the sun. You are the first sign this week that's actually had sunlight for the reading rather than my rubbish artificial light. And the reason for that is I just could not get up this morning. I am exhausted, like exhausted to the point of like the last time I remember being this tired was when I was ill. Like, like when you get something like the flu and you just have no physical strength, you're mentally exhausted, so tired. So, yeah, I don't know. Excuse me if I'm a little bit head in the clouds more than usual today. I'm also a little bit sniffly. I've got a little bit of a cold coming on, so again, apologies for that. Um, Finally, my other little apology I have to do is I must have touched something that's kind of irritated my hand because my hand kind of has a bit of a rash going on one of my fingers. So I'm a bit shy about that actually. I'm just going to kind of try and hide that if I can from the camera. But if you do see that, I don't know what's caused it. It's obviously touched some sort of chemical or cleaning product or something that's kind of like triggered that. So just ignore that if you spot it. What do I have to tell you? The first thing that I saw, I've got so much stuff for you, Leo, like so much. I don't know where to start. A lot of songs. So I don't know if somebody is a musician or, music's really important to you at this time, perhaps. There could be something to that, and I'll come back to that in a moment. But I'll kind of run through my list in order. So I could see a cartoon. So it was like a cartoon, like a picture. Of a girl at a table, and she was facing to the right. I think she may have been on a laptop or a phone, and she had something down here. She's like, so there was a chair here, and there was either a dog or a bag at her side. I think she had like blonde hair, but it was a cartoon drawing of a girl. So I got the impression she was either at a desk or a table, like maybe she was in a coffee shop or like at a computer desk, something like that. So if that's relevant to you, there you go. The next, can you see how my throat's closing up very, very quickly now? Somebody may be struggling to communicate something or say something. So if that's you and that's relevant, that there you go. That's a message for you. Now I had a visual. It's kind of a moving visual of a real life scene, and it was as though these people stood outside some kind of convention centre. So it gave me the impression of Gamescom or something like that. So some kind of like convention, Comic-Con maybe. And it was like, I think it was like three people stood in the foreground. And it looked like there was one person interviewing these two other people, and these two other people looked like they were mascots or they were dressed up as like computer game characters. Now, they gave me a word at the same time, and to me it sounded like Namcom. Now I kind of like looked it up afterwards, and I was thinking, I'm sure that's like a computer game company. Namcom, is that not a computer game company? Namco is a computer game company. So I don't know if they have some kind of like Comic-Con type thing where they call it Namcom. I don't know if that's a thing. If that word's relevant to you somehow, then there you go. But Namco, they kind of do, I think they do like Pac-Man. They do all sorts of things. They kind of teamed up with another company. But the mascots, it was the one on the right that I could really see, and it was the nose of this character that kind of stood out to me. It's kind of like this long orange nose. So in my head it was like Crash Bandicoot. Like that's what I took from it. Now I can't say if it was for sure Crash Bandicoot or if it's something else. All I can really remember is this like long orange coloured nose with like a black bit on the end. It could have been something like Tails, out of Sonic and Tails. I don't know. It could be a computer game character that I just don't recognise, and my brain's made the association with things that I do recognise. So if anything is relevant there to you at all, take what's relevant to you, interpret it in your own way. There could be something there by somebody. It's also a song by Egon, Namcon, a song by Egon, which was funny to me because Ghostbusters is kind of a theme of something that's going on elsewhere in my life at the moment. So that was quite amusing. What else? I had a dream and it was so strange. It was like, it was lovely. the mood, like the feeling of this dream was so nice. And I don't know if I don't know if this name is relevant to somebody. I don't know why it came through like this, but I'm just going to kind of talk you through it. So the characters in this little movie scene that played out in this dream, one of them was Gordon Brown, who is a Prime Minister of the UK. He was a Prime Minister of the UK, Gordon Brown. But I don't think it was Gordon Brown. He didn't look like Gordon Brown, so I don't know if this is somebody else with the same name, somebody called Gordon, somebody with the last name Brown. Maybe something there is relevant to you in a different way. But he was with his wife, who again didn't particularly look like Gordon Brown's wife, but it was like the kind of scenario was that the woman had won some sort of election. She'd won some kind of it was like she was the prime minister, so she'd achieved some kind of goal, or she got some kind of job, and she was kind of walking into what would be number 10, but it wasn't number 10. So they're giving it to me in things that I recognize, but it's probably the same scenario but applied to something different. So this woman had achieved some kind of goal, she'd won some kind of vote, she'd got the job, she was going into the building where she was going to live and do this job, and the male character kind of sort of grabbed her, like stopped her, like pulled her back, in a very it sounds a little bit aggressive, but it was in a very romantic way. It was like, no, wait, come back. And he got down on one knee in front of all these cameras, and he's got like a single rose, in his hand, like in the cellophane. So he's got the rose, and he's proposing to her. He gets down on one knee. So it's like she has this success and he proposes. It was a really nice little dream. So I don't know if anything's relevant to you there or not. Take it if it's relevant, leave it if it isn't. It could be for somebody else, but it's come through for a reason. I woke up straight after that scene, that kind of dream scene. I woke up and I had "We Can Rule the World," which is a Take That song. We can rule the world. You and me, we can light up the stars. If you stay with me, girl, we can rule the world. So it's giving me like power couple energy. Obviously, Gordon Brown was the Prime Minister, and then his wife in this dream sequence had also become some kind of Prime Minister. So it's almost a little bit like Hillary and Bill Clinton, this kind of power couple. Now, I don't know if you're connecting with a Gemini or somebody with Gemini placement, or maybe you have Gemini placement, but Gemini was getting a very similar thing through. They were getting the world is not enough. We're going to take over the world, and then that's not enough, we're going to do more. And then this energy is like, we can rule the world, but it's very romantic. It's lovely energy. It's like together we can do anything. It really is like power couple. I've got your back, you've got my back. We're in this together. Like it's really good energy. So whether you have that or that's something you want, I'm not sure. Then I was getting I don't know how to put this. I got a phrase. Sometimes I get phrases through in my head, and now a bit of a lewd warning here. I didn't know what it meant. It was at the same time as getting this political stuff with like Gordon Brown and things, and we can rule the world. So I was thinking they were saying to me, because I don't know the language very well that it's coming through as. So to me, I was trying to turn it into a word that I recognise. So I was reading it as politica erotica. Politica erotica. Now, obviously, erotica is to do with like sex and eroticism. Politica would have been to do with politics. So sex and politics, politics and sex, maybe for somebody that could be relevant. But they weren't giving me the word politica, I don't think. Sorry, I'm just getting a bit of tissue. I'm a bit sniffly. They weren't giving me the word political. They were giving me the word placate. Hang on. It was like placate, like the word placate, which means to mollify, right? But it was like placatica. So I was playing around with this word, and again, however it resonates for you, if you're thinking, oh my god, I know what that is, and I'm interpreting it wrong, take your interpretation, because again, it's not a language I'm familiar with, so I had to kind of interpret it. Placatita, I can't even say it. when I kind of tracked it down, the word that I think they were trying to give me was platica. So it was platica erotica, which I believe is Spanish. I was thinking, is it Latin? But I think it's Spanish. When I Googled it very carefully, and I wouldn't recommend you do this, it was kind of sex lines, sex that you ring up, people talking dirty. So I don't know if there's something like to do with somebody talking dirty to someone. I don't know if somebody placates someone with sex. Something to do with sex and politics. Take it as it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. The fact that it's Latin or Spanish speaking or a Romance language could also be relevant. Romance language, Romance language, platica erotica, it's like literally the same thing, right? Like the same meaning. Then I got The One That You Love by Halsey and Marshmallow. Why do you have to lie to the one that you love? Again, take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. Then I got the National Anthem again by Lana Del Rey. Keeps coming up this week. Obviously a very relevant song, but I feel like there's more to it. I feel like it's for somebody. Hold you like a python. So different words are coming out for me in different readings. So hold you like a python. You can't keep your hands off me. I need somebody to hold me. So I was getting this feeling as I was getting this song, and again, it was kind of first thing in the morning, I was trying to wake up, and I was finding it really, really hard to get out of bed. Like, I had that feeling again, it came through sort of earlier last week, where it's like, there's a huge amount of comfort in sleep. It was like this embracing, protective energy that was really hard to kind of detach from. So there's something to that. It's like maybe it's like either somebody literally holds you like a python, or they have the hands all over you, or somebody who's very kind of like physically affectionate. It's like a lot of hands or hands everywhere, and like hugging and never letting go, like hugging you like a python, clinging on for dear life, almost like this other person is your life jacket. So again, somebody could be feeling this way about you, or you're feeling this way about somebody else, or you have this relationship, or you need this relationship. There's something there. It's like, it just feels like an embrace, but like a lot of hands. I can't explain it any more than that. Yeah, then I was getting he will do very well, I can tell, over and over again. He will do very well, I can tell. So it's like, again, it's like somebody's going into politics, or they're going into some kind of like position of authority, or some kind of career, and it's like it is like a power couple, or like, one person behind the other person, and it's very strong, like, energy between two people. Excuse me just a second. Okay, so keep that in mind. I'm going to cycle around back to that. Then I was getting, so when I woke up this morning with all this in my head, I was like, I want another song. Give me a song then for what this is. And Spotify tried to play Wonderwall by Oasis, but it was silent. Again, I feel like somebody can't communicate all this. Somebody can't communicate how they feel possibly about somebody else. But yeah, Wonderwall, it just wouldn't play. My volume was up, the timestamp was moving, but there was no sound coming from this. Now, sometimes when that happens, I take it as an indication that I need to go and look it up on YouTube and go and watch the video. So I did do that. And I thought maybe somebody's miming something as well. Somebody could be miming something to somebody else, or communicating without words in some way. Today is going to be the day that they're going to throw it back to you. By now, you should have somehow realised what you've got to do, or what you've not to do. So I feel like somebody's in some kind of cycle. I feel like there's an opportunity, like the universe. Right, I'll explain exactly what I'm picking up on. What I'm picking up on is there is somebody who is meant to do something. They have some kind of divine destiny or divine plan. So, for example, how Oasis wrote that song and how I'm interpreting it today. You know, sometimes a song can be written by a musician and then it can have some kind of huge meaning later on down the line. For example, Don't Look Back in Anger is a song that people sung in Manchester after the Manchester Arena attack. It took on a different meaning. Sometimes I think that artists or creators have some kind of product that they need to make, and it can just be business as usual for them, but that product can have a huge impact on somebody, you know, years later. So I feel like somebody here, it could be you, Leo, it could be somebody that you're supporting, somebody that you're connected with. Somebody has some kind of huge important task that they need to do as part of their life. It's like a task that the universe is trying to get them to do. They could not even realize that it's so important, but it's like the universe keeps throwing some kind of opportunity or chance in somebody's way, and I feel like this person's been stuck. They're not ready for it. They weren't ready for it. So every time this opportunity came around, it's like the universe lines something up for them. They've not took it, or they've missed out on the opportunity, or there's some kind of reason why it wasn't the right time before, but the universe is throwing this opportunity back at this person. Now, it could be something like a contract, you know, so getting offered a contract, getting offered a job. It could be that somebody's proposing something to somebody else, and this person's not taking it, but it's like it's coming round again. It's coming round again for you. It could be today or within the next couple of days, Leo, and you should by now realise what you've got to do. I can't give you any more than that, okay? Things that came through for me when I watched the video, again, I feel like watching the video was significant. I got strongly London Beatles Abbey Road. So I don't know if there's anything there for anyone. Again, London has been coming through as a location very strongly for me for a while. For somebody, it feels like somebody has something to do in London. And then the Beatles and Abbey Road, obviously Oasis kind of drew on that kind of era. So if there's anything relevant to you there, and you're thinking by now I should realise what I've got to do, and that is like some kind of trigger for you, you know, it's like you're thinking, oh my God, I do know what I've got to do. That is so clear to me now, or I've been thinking about doing that for a while, then that's for you. I also picked up on blue, the colour blue. The video is, and this is something, again, I got a while back with the same song, and the guitar was blue. So if there's anything there for you. Also, there was a clown, which gave me stuck in the middle with you. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am stuck in the middle with you. So again, another song there, if that's relevant. The megaphone stood out to me. And then I wrote cat. Why have I wrote cat? Oh, I wrote cat because... So that was kind of the end of that chunk of intuitive stuff that came through. If you don't like the intuitive reading as well, you can use the timestamp down below to skip to the cards. I should have said that in the beginning. So if you're still with me after 17 minutes, brilliant. I am having a difficult day today. I'm very tired. My son is also very tired. We've been doing this learning from home. It's quite it's a little bit stressful. It's quite a lot for him to absorb. You know, it's a change for him. It's been a big change for him. So we've got to the end of the week. We're both quite exhausted. I was trying to do his maths with him this morning, and he does understand it, but because he's so tired, he could not focus. He just didn't have the mental brain power to deal with doing the maths at that moment. So I got a little bit ratty, he got a little bit ratty, and I thought there's no point trying to do it now. All it's going to do is make him struggle to get into his lessons next week because he's going to think negatively about it. So I said, just go. I'll teach it you tonight or over the weekend. I know that I can teach it him and he'll understand it, which is the main goal of education. And I was like, well, you don't have to do it now, because all we're doing is like torture. It's like torture, isn't it? Trying to focus on something that you just don't have the focus to deal with. So I don't know if somebody is going through something like this where they're very, very stressed, which makes it very hard to actually focus and do the tasks in front of them. I sent my son downstairs and I just felt the urge to have a little cry. I was like, I feel like I need to have a little cry and get it out of my system. And my cat appeared. And again, Leo, you know, one of your cards is the Strength card, which actually depicts a lion and a woman. So again, I feel this connection between you and another person. It doesn't have to be female, you know, it can be. I'm also getting 2 lions, so that could be for somebody. But yeah, it feels like there's this very, very strong bond between you and another person, and it's supportive. So my cat came, right? Leo the cat. It's like she just knew, she could just sensed that I was on the verge of tears, and she just appeared and like wanted a cuddle, wanted you know, me to stroke her. She purred for me, and you know, we both like lay down on the bed, and I was just stroking her, and I was like, this is so soothing. And I was thinking about how cats just live in the moment. They do what they want to do when they want to do it, and they enjoy the moment. So there's something about taking yourself out of a stressful situation, not getting overwhelmed by it, and taking a few minutes out to de-stress, spend time with a friend, perhaps spend time with an animal, and just live in that moment of peace and enjoying that exact moment in front of you. So there's something to there. And it also felt like that as well when I woke up. It was like, with that kind of embracing energy, it was like, enjoy that moment. So again, something there for somebody. With the cat, I got You've got the love by Florence and the Machine. You've got the love I need to see me through, right? So again, it's this connection. As soon as I picked up your card here, as soon as I looked at it, I got Here Comes the Sun. Again, I think it's a Beatles song, right? So Beatles seems very relevant to you for some reason. Perhaps perhaps it's not even music. Perhaps you're like a scientist and you do something with like literal insect beetles, or beetle cars, right? Maybe it's beetle cars. I don't know. Maybe you've been thinking about buying one for a while, and this is like the universe saying, yes, go and get that beetle car. So, but Here Comes the Sun. It's like, here comes Leo. They're like the sunshine in my life. I feel like somebody feels this way about you. It's like, I'm so happy Leo is here. When Leo's here, the mood of the room just lifts. You know, everybody's happy that Leo's arrived. You know, if everybody was having a bad day, Leo's here. They're going to cheer us up. It's like, maybe that's quite a stressful for you though. Maybe that's quite a big burden on your shoulders to be that person who kind of brightens up the room, brightens up everybody else's day. It can be a burden on you to have that expectation on you. So it could be a sense of like, well, I'm here brightening up everybody else's day. Who's brightening up my day? Who's got my back? The next song you got was Put Your Arms Around Me by Texas. Make me believe that I'm somewhere else. Because only time can take you. So let me believe that we're somewhere else. That I'm someone else. Let me believe that I'm someone else. Is it, baby, are you ready to break? Do you think that I push you too far? Are you sure of yourself? Would you lie if you're not? Okay, so it could be something in that song. I kissed the card. It was like tuning into the energy, and I was like looking at the card and thinking like, thinking about Leo energy, trying to pick up anything that came intuitively. And I really had this feeling of like somebody looking at a photograph of somebody that they love and kissing it. So maybe you've done that. Maybe somebody's doing that to a photograph of you. And then I was getting 2 lions. Now, this is a song by Lightning Seeds, and it's actually 3 lions on his shirt. Again, this England connection that somebody could have. 3 lions represents England, right? So it's to do with the English football team, which is soccer if you're American, and the World Cup. So it's a song about England winning the World Cup, being very hopeful of winning it again. So no more years of hurt. So again, I feel like maybe somebody's been in a very tough cycle in life. I think it says 30 years of hurt. Jewels remain still gleaming. Sounds a bit lewd. But I was getting, they wear 2 stars on the shirts, the football team, to represent the 2 times that they've won the World Cup. I don't know why England love football so much, because I feel like we're so bad at it. But yeah, 2 stars on the shirt to represent the 2 times they've won the World Cup. So, but I was getting 2 lions on his shirt. Again, maybe you've got a shirt with 2 lions on. I don't know. No more years of hurt. 30 years of hurt. No more years of hurt. It's like the cycle's changing for you, Leo. The two songs that actually randomised as I was setting up your reading were Dead by Madison Beer, which talks about an unhealthy relationship. So maybe you're leaving, maybe this is the cycle that you're leaving an unhealthy relationship, moving towards one that is healthy, that feels more like a power couple. It feels like somebody who is more on your wavelength, more your equal, somebody who's got your back instead of having someone else's back all the time. She talks about somebody who is quite selfish. They seem emotionally manipulative. She talks about how they're never there for her, and then when she tries to leave, they're there on the knees, again, this on the knees, crying, So I feel like that's something you're moving away from. It's like that relationship is dead to me, right? But then you got Common People by Pulp. Again, this is one of my absolute favourite songs. Again, it could have this sense of somebody who is in politics or something dealing with the common people. I don't know. But it talks about a girl who comes from a very wealthy background. She studied sculpture at St. Martin's College. That's where I caught her eye. Love that song. I think I know every single word from it, and I blast it every time it comes on. I want to sleep with common people. I want to sleep with common people like you. What else should I do? I said, I'll see what I can do. But it talks about being a bit of a fish out of water, perhaps, if you've come from a very wealthy background. People see it the other way quite often. So if you think about a film like Pretty Woman, she comes from a difficult background, and she finds it difficult to kind of fit in with this Cinderella fantasy lifestyle of the rich and famous and powerful, where she's kind of like, she doesn't feel like she fits in. She feels like she's kind of playing a role, but it works both ways. So somebody who comes from a very privileged background, a very wealthy background, if they went into a bit of a rough bar, they would stand out. People might try and take advantage of them. So it kind of does work both ways, in that perhaps this relationship you have, Leo, is somebody from a very privileged background and someone from an underprivileged background who are finding it hard to kind of fit into each other's worlds somehow. But I think the love is the key. You've got the love to, I need to see me through. So the love is the key there. Don't worry about the background of each other. If you match, if your personalities match, if your goals, dreams and ambitions match, then you're right for each other. It doesn't matter where you came from. So something there, it could just be something that is a factor of that relationship, though, that can cause issues from time to time, but that doesn't mean that it's not worth the shot. With that song, I got the King of Cups, the Empress and the Hierophant. Very, very, very positive cards, and this is why I'm saying this feels like a very positive relationship. The King of Cups with the Empress and the Hierophant. King of Cups is the king of love, king of emotions, emotional maturity, emotional stability, very loving, very protective, very giving. The Empress is somebody who has a huge amount of potential. She's all four queens of the tarot. She's kind of like dream woman energy, like dream girl energy. She's everything somebody could ever want. So I feel like the King of Cups wants to express his love for the Empress. The Hierophant card, now I did talk about Golden Brown proposing there, this politician proposing. The Hierophant does actually talk about church, marriage, traditional structures. So it feels like the King of Cups wants to have a very traditional relationship with the Empress. So take anything that resonates there, leave anything that doesn't. 38 minutes, that is the longest introduction I've done all week. So thank you if you stuck with me for this long. If you're here for the cards and you're thinking, I thought this was a tarot card reading, why is she still talking? We're nearly there, don't worry. So I'm going to randomise a song for you on camera now. So a song for Leo, please. Song for Leo. Empire. Oh my goodness, you cannot make it up. You cannot make it up. You've just had the Empress. I'm talking about politics. I'm talking about, building a legacy and things like this, taking over the world. And you've got the song Empire by Kasabian. Too much information, something tired of talking. Good for nothing. Said you're gonna see a ghost. I'll tell you what you hear the most. Stop. I said it's happening again. We're all wasting away. I told you somebody's stuck in a cycle. They're going to throw it back to you. You should by now realise what you've got to do, or you're not to do. So don't repeat the patterns of the past. Don't repeat the mistakes that stop you taking that opportunity. Leo, you've got an empire to run here. You really have. stop, I said it's happening again. We're all wasting away. It's the King of Pentacles as well. Just kind of, sorry, just light that up. The image on there, sorry, it is a bit lewd. There's a naked lady on there, but it's like somebody's going out and seizing what they want. And it's the King of Pentacles. The King of Clubs is the King of Pentacles. No, it's not the King. It's the King of Wands. It's the King of Wands. Interesting that I read it as the King of Pentacles. I have been getting a lot of earth sign and fire sign energy mixed. So I don't know if there's a person who has like strong earth and fire in the chart, but it's like somebody who's like, they know what they have to do. They're going to go and get it done. They have all the skills that they need, the skills and the tools of the trade that they need to go and do some kind of big task. It feels huge. Lewd. I can't believe that song is so applicable to what I've been talking about. Okay, I'm going to write that down. I'm going to make sure I'm tuned into the energies, and I'm going to finally pull those cards for you, Leo. Hey Leo, this is just a quick interjection before the next part of the reading, just to give you a bit of a trigger warning that something comes up that may possibly be emotional for somebody if they've experienced it. So the trigger is abuse of power and abuse, some kind of abuse, possibly from somebody's childhood. So if you feel like that's going to be a trigger for you, I just want to give you the heads up now, just so that you're prepared for it, and feel free to leave the reading if you're not feeling strong enough to deal with that right now. So Leo, I hope you enjoy the rest of the reading. It's actually a very, very beautiful reading. It just seems like somebody's had some kind of traumatic experience in the past that they're still recovering from. So best of luck with that. Do take care, and yeah, on with the reading. Okay, Leo, let's get into it. Again, if it's not your reading, it's just not your reading. Leave it for the people for whose reading it applies to. Take anything that's relevant, leave anything that isn't. Gender can be swapped around unless I indicate that it can't be. So he, she, or they, take it as it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. So let's go. One card for Leo. I feel very business-like all of a sudden now that I've tuned into the energy. I also saw the cogs moving. Sometimes I get this visual of like the cogs shifting, which to me is like the universal cogs in action. It's like maybe you weren't going to take this opportunity, but you will now take the opportunity, or vice versa. You know, with that Oasis song, it's like things realign. When you make a decision, things realign universally. So okay. I felt the need to look at the bottom. You've got gravity, groundedness, being down to earth, coming up with a practical plan. She's surrounded by all those animals, and it's like those butterflies are trying to like lift her up. I'm getting stubbornness. Like somebody's been too practical, too realistic, too grounded. And sometimes you have to kind of connect to your dreams, like that fantasy space, because the fantasy space is what elevates you to the next level in life. And when you can picture yourself in a different situation, or in a different job, or a different relationship, that actually the visualization of doing it actually provides the impetus to do it. I'm using very different language to what I would normally use casually. So I feel like I'm in a very business-like mood, and kind of my brain is like, my synapses is like fire on all cylinders, so that I can communicate exactly what I need to say. And I'm grasping at the right words from my kind of dictionary in my head to do this. So I don't know if this is your energy or something that you're dealing with. It feels very important to communicate clearly, but I also feel like it's stressful, which is why this person needs that supportive energy when they're on the downtime, when they're not in business mode. Snow. Don't use cocaine. That snow rabbit. Silence, snow. So that gives me sounds of silence immediately. I'm picking up on it like a sub thread. So this isn't going to be for everybody. This is just for someone that I'm kind of pulling this out for. Somebody could be or have dealt with in the past someone in a position of authority. So for example, politics, or somebody very high up in the kind of echelons of society, who presents a very it's very important for that person to present the right public face. They present what is acceptable to society, but perhaps behind the scenes there's corruption there, or an abuse of power, or something bad, something negative. It's like maybe you know something about somebody. It could be that they use cocaine. Snow, you know, obviously a thing for cocaine there. It could be that somebody is has some kind of sexual deviancy. Interestingly, I keep getting shown a documentary advertised on YouTube about Jimmy Savile, who was somebody who was an entertainer and who's part of a network of people who would abuse people. Perhaps it's something to do with abuses of the past coming to light. Now, the reason why I'm picking up on this partially is because that song, The Sounds of Silence, talks about, to me, sometimes a context of society not speaking about something that everybody knows. It's like everybody realizes something, but nobody talks about it. I was very disturbed, actually. I feel like, again, it was like one of these things that comes through, and I think I don't know when I'm meant to talk about this, but I know that I have to talk about it at some point, and it's coming through now. I was out for a walk, and The Sound of Silence played. I think it was by Kina Grannis, a different version, and a cover version, and a cover up. So a cover up. The snow covers things up. Okay. So it was followed by a song, and I'll have to try and remember it, but it's followed by another song that was saying, it was like, I don't want to hear it. That was it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't, everybody knows about it. Everyone's got a story to tell. Don't want to talk about it. From the Kings to the Hounds of Hell. I think it's another Kasabian song. And if I catch you coming back my way, I'm going to give it to you. And that ain't what you want to hear, but that's what I'll do. It was like a parent. It was like, okay, I'm going to come out with what I was picking up on. It was like possibly a child being abused by somebody in government, and the parent, or in the church, right? In some kind of like power structure. I'm gonna have to put a trigger warning at the beginning of this video. Somebody in some sort of power structure could have abused a child. The community, because this power structure was so influential, the community didn't want to hear about it. They covered it up. So it's like a mother, or you know, what are you talking about? Stop lying. Why are you saying those kind of things? I don't want to hear about it. Shut up. I'll give you a smack if you keep talking about it. Horrible. It was horrible. I was like, those two songs playing after each other, I was so disturbed by it. And I was like, if someone's going through this is awful. But I feel like it's in the past. It could be in somebody's childhood. So cover up the snow. When the snow falls, all the kind of dog shit that's on the floor, sorry for the swears, it's the energy that's coming through. The dirt, the grime of society, the bad things that happen, it gets covered up by the snow, and it looks pure white. It looks sweet and innocent, but it's not. There's shit under there. Leo, you sometimes get some of the most difficult readings. I did a reading for Leo a while back, and I had to actually make the video private because it turned out something happened. And if you're watching this, hi, love you, be safe. Something happened to a friend, and I was picking up on it in the reading, and it was difficult for me. Obviously very, very difficult for them. They were the one that went through, but it was difficult for me to know that I was kind of picking up on this, and I hadn't been able to do anything about it, and I had this fear that I'd made the situation worse. But I do feel like the messages that come through for a reason, and somebody's meant to hear them, and sometimes those messages are difficult, but they always have a purpose. But it's not for me. I don't have divine knowledge. It's not for me to understand why that message is coming through at that time. So if that's your situation, I'm sending you so much strength. That's not going to be everybody's situation. It's a sub-thread. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. It could be that somebody you know has dealt with something like this, and you don't even realise it. They've never spoken about it. It was covered up, never spoke about it. But there's still, it's like they told me the word cancer. It's like a cancer kind of the soul, emotionally, and that could be why perhaps this person, I'm sorry, I'm channeling really strongly today, this could be why this person finds it difficult to talk about things and open up and be emotionally vulnerable, because they had such a traumatic experience in the past. So if that's not you, it could be somebody around you, and you may not realize it. And I don't want you to go around like probing people and kind of asking them questions. And, you know, it's not for us to decide when somebody else gets to speak about something. Okay. Oh, okay. I don't know what to take there. I'll show you oh my goodness. Okay. Otter Spirit, you are never alone. That's the one I'm going to take. It's the first one I saw. Freedom is yours, Horse Spirit. Dream the world into being. Lay a solid foundation. And the miracles are endless. So if there's anything there for you with any of those, if any of those animals are symbolic for you, if any of those stand out to you, take that. I am only taking one card today, though, for this reading. And the Otter Spirit was the first one that I saw. And it's very, very suitable for the energy that I was picking up on, which was, you are never alone. You know, there's always, whether it's divine energy with you, universal energy, you know, protective spirit, guides, whatever you feel is there, you are never alone. And we're all connected. We are all connected somehow. I could swim in an ocean, and 5 years later, that same water, because of the water cycle, could be the rain that falls on you. So in a strange way, we are all connected. I'm getting that song. Michael Jackson as well, again, you know, accused of abuse, is coming through very strongly. I've had Jimmy Savile and Michael Jackson now as examples that they've given me, but he sang that song, You Are Not Alone. Hang on. Yeah, sorry, my son dropped a plate. He was like, for God's sake. So cute. You are not alone, I am here with you. But I feel like, even though obviously it's coming from somebody who's very controversial, and I know people have strong feelings about that situation one way or another, the song itself is beautiful. It's like, I really feel like I'm picking up on two energies, and it's like, you're not alone. Like, I see you. It's like, I see you. I know you. I see you. And even though it's like, maybe you or this other person, maybe you don't know each other's full story exactly. It's like recognizing something about that person, and like seeing straight through the snow, the cover up, the outer exterior, the presentation, seeing right through it, right to that person's like baser instincts, or the heart or the soul. Number 42, the answer to life, love and everything. Okay, let's go. I need to write those songs down, actually. I'm going to do it before I forget. I think that song was actually White Stripes. If I catch you coming back my way, I'm going to serve it to you. And that ain't what you want to hear, but that's what I'll do. And I feel it coming from like military, maybe. White Stripes, military. Some kind of, you know, political or social structure. Church, military, politics, something like that. And that could be why that Hierophant card was there as well, actually. So the Empress could have been a mother. Okay. You are never alone. Like true friends, otters nurture each other and express their affection through touch. Actions such as holding hands and giving hugs offer reassurance that we are never really alone and that we are always cherished. Somebody, I'm immediately picking up on, somebody may, White Stripes, I'm noticing the white there as well. A lot of intuitive stuff coming through. I'm sorry if I'm a bit scatty. I'm picking up on somebody who may have intimacy issues, like physical intimacy issues, like somebody who doesn't, like maybe like their family, they come from family, especially like perhaps a very wealthy family, who they don't do that sort of thing. Like they don't hug, they don't show physical expression. So there could be some kind of like physical expression vacuum for someone, where somebody really needs it, but they don't allow themselves to experience it. So it's the sort of person who, like, you go to hug them and they stiffen up, or you know, especially if somebody has had a very difficult experience at some point in their life, you know, that's, you know, something there for somebody, but they have a real need for it. They just can't allow them, like, it's difficult for them to allow themselves to have it. You are never, excuse me. So my son is here. He asked, funny that we're talking about physical affection. My son's here. He wanted to stroke the cat. He wanted to stroke Bess. So he's here stroking Bess, but he says it's going to be really quiet. Love you. He's winking at me. Okay. We are never really alone and that we are always cherished. Otter's spirit has appeared to remind you to experience and express friendship in a tangible and even tactile way. Communicate with your voice. Like, can you hear my voice seizing up as I say communicate with your voice? And everything happens for a reason in a reading. Someone's struggling to communicate. I think they're struggling to communicate how important a relationship is to them. Communicate with your voice, your facial expressions. And again, that Oasis song, I said there was no sound to it. It was somebody kind of almost like lip syncing. My son's giving me the thumbs up. It was like somebody, literally what I'm talking about, right? As I'm saying, the Oasis song, it was like someone was miming something to somebody. They weren't able to talk. They, signals rather than actual speaking. So there's something there to that. There's definitely something there to that. And my son's there giving me the thumbs up sign. So communicate with your voice, your facial expressions, your gestures, and your actions. Just to reassure you, my son gets plenty of cuddles. It's like, don't worry about that. Letting your love express itself beyond the words that you speak. So if you can't communicate how you feel in words, maybe gestures or, romantic gestures. I said that Gordon Brown was giving somebody a rose, right? Or it could be like, actually write it down. And I was talking as well about how I was choosing my words very carefully and kind of like that dictionary brain. So again, it could be like somebody from a less privileged background dealing with somebody from a very privileged background. The person from a privileged background could have a broader education, a more solid education where they know they have a very good vocabulary. They've been introduced to those kind of classical texts that expand your vocabulary, where the other person could perhaps come from a background where, they don't have such a broad range of kind of words in their brain to be able to choose from to fully express and communicate effectively. I'm doing it again. How exactly they feel about someone. I've gone into kind of dictionary brain mode again. So somebody definitely communicates like that. They have the exact right word at the exact right time, but the other person doesn't. Like the other person is like, the energy I'm getting is like the other person can say, I love you, but that's not enough. It's not, those words don't actually convey how deep and important their emotions are about this relationship to that other person. It's like the words aren't enough. So what do they say? What do they do? Again, beautiful energy in such a difficult reading. Otter's spirit message is that presence matters. So remember to be fully present with those that you care about, helping them sense the love and affection and appreciation that you have for them. Now is the time for a joyful celebration of love in your life that expresses as friendship and companionship. Hug someone, touch their arm, or simply look into their eyes with your full attention, saying, I care and you matter. And that can be very difficult. Again, if someone has a very stressful job, if someone who's doing something that, takes a lot out of them mentally, you can actually come home to your family, to your children, and be quite stressed and be quite grumpy, or, not have the time for the people that you actually genuinely really care about. So there could be a message in there for somebody as well. Make time for friendship. And also understanding if you're dealing with that person who's very stressed, who has a very demanding job, understanding that they sometimes just might need a bit of space. They might just need to lie down in the dark for a bit. They may not always be able to give you their full attention because they've spent so much of their attention elsewhere, but that doesn't mean that they don't love you. So I feel like somebody needs to perhaps hear that. Otter Spirit promises that the moment you reach out, you will remember that you too have many who love and care about you. You are never alone and you are always loved. A brilliant example of kind of gestures sometimes meaning more than words. I really struggled to get out of bed this morning. I was so exhausted. My daughter actually got up before me, and she came in and she said, do you want me to make you a cup of coffee? I was like, yes, please. And her making me that cup of coffee, it was such a simple gesture, but so lovely. So sometimes say someone comes home and they've had a stressful day, not even maybe they can't talk, maybe they just physically cannot, they're exhausted, right? Mentally they just can't be present. You just go in and being like, put your feet up, look, here's your dinner, I've made you a cup of tea. And you don't even have to say anything, If they drink it, they drink it. If they don't, they don't. Don't take it personally. But the fact that you've cared for them in that way and made that simple gesture can sometimes mean the world to that person when they've had such a tough day. So lots of different scenarios going on there in that reading. Take what resonates, leave anything that doesn't. I feel like that person appreciates you even if they don't communicate it. I'm a bit like that. I'm air sign energy. I can be a little bit I can sometimes be a little bit like, of course I love you. Like, I don't have to kind of tell you every 5 minutes, of course I love you. Like, but you know, sometimes other people need to hear it a bit more. So again, there can be something there for that. My brain drifted, but I'll just show you what you got there. 2 of Earth, making a decision. World card, travel, Sagittarian energy for me. King of Fire. I love that King of Fire card. He looks like such a warm person, like a warm, loving person. I think that, again, this King of Fire, I was picking up on King of Wands energy with that Kasabian song. Somebody has a job to do. Somebody means the world to somebody. Somebody has a decision to make regarding travel. Take what resonates, leave anything that doesn't. This is somebody with a huge amount of passion. Making a decision, travel or internet. A cycle completing as well, somebody learning some kind of major cycle. So perhaps it is the time, perhaps they're going to throw it back to you, and by now you should have somehow realised what you've got to do. Maybe somebody has to follow the passion. Can I get 1 card, please, as the header for Leo's reading today? This is a very long reading. I'm glad I made more space on my phone, but I still feel like I'm going to run out of space. Oh my goodness, you got the Empress. You've got the Empress. I told you she came out before. You could be an Empress energy. Which means that you have got it all going on. You've probably had quite a lot of tough lessons. You've probably fallen down quite a lot of times, but you know how to pick yourself up. There's a lot of potential with you. If this isn't you and this is another person, it's somebody you've got on a pedestal, and they are like they're everything to you. Sometimes it can represent a mother or a wife. Sometimes it represents a love interest who's like your dream person. As I say, take it as it resonates. It can actually be you, but this person, there's a huge amount of potential with this person. There's growth there. You know, if you get together with this person, you know, you're going places. Huge amount of potential. So again, take it as it resonates, leave it. If it doesn't, it's Libra, Taurus energy. Again, I saw the Hierophant, which is also Taurian energy. Could be dealing with those signs, or you could have those placements in your chart. I just thought I'd read from the book. She does quite nice things with this book, but I opened accidentally to the Emperor and the Hierophant there as well, look, but the Emperor, and I read authority as authenticity. Excuse me, my tummy's rumbling. Tummy rumbling indicates the stomach chakra, which is to do with confidence and strength of purpose and passion. Very much Leo energy. So you could be the Emperor Leo, or you're dealing with somebody else, possibly another Leo or somebody with Leo placement. But this is like a hunger for something, like wanting some kind of success. But there's a need to be very authentic. You want to be an authentic emperor in the upright, not an inauthentic false emperor in the reverse. So that somebody, again, needed to hear that. So Empress. Fertility. This is a wonderful time to give birth to new ideas and experiences. Nourishment is assured as I step into a new version of myself. My life is rich and ripe with possibility, and I can manifest and create. I am a powerful co-creator, and life loves me now. The world is brimming with potential and infinite possibility that will manifest for my highest good. I'm going to show you that. It's a nice little mantra. If you feel like you're the Empress, maybe you want to say that to yourself every morning for a while in the mirror, and kind of like manifest that for yourself. But yeah, very strong energy. I am absolutely picking up on Emperor, Empress energy, like with that dream about kind of like the politician and his wife. You know, it's a power couple energy. So I'm going to do a 9-card spread for you. It's different to the one that I did last week where I went past, present, future, heart space, head space, action space. This one, if you want to read it that way, though, it's fine. However you interpret the reading, you're meant to interpret it that way. Don't ever feel like your interpretation is wrong. It's a general reading. Take what resonates. So what I'm actually doing today, though, is a 9-card spread, but it's going to be point A to point B. So some kind of cycle or journey that you're experiencing, some kind of phase of your life. So it's going to be a kind of like a timeline, okay? So let's see what you get. So Leo, how does this start? rest and relaxation, needing to take a time out. Again, I said somebody could have been very, very stressed and they need to just kind of like zone out for a bit. With that Four of Swords energy there. But there's something to do with time. Again, I'm getting like a cyclical energy with you where it's like they're going to throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realised what you've got to do or what you're not to do. So don't repeat the mistakes of the past and go back into that same cycle. Look, there's like an hourglass there, and he's got a clock there as well. And I was talking about the cogs moving, okay? He's not communicating right now. He's got that sword down, but he's ready to communicate. He is holding it. He's scared of heartbreak. The Three of Swords over his heart can indicate a fear of heartbreak. This raven's here as well. It gives me Lenore, right? Quoth Raven, nevermore. The song, the poem there, the Raven. So you could have lost somebody in the past, possibly a female. You know, the poet lost Lenore, and it was kind of like haunted by the memory of her and the presence of the Raven. So if there's something relevant for you there, take it. If not, leave it. The next card, please, for Leo. After the Four of Swords. No. There we go. The Nine of Cups. So if you have experienced some kind of loss or some kind of situation that was very difficult to deal with in terms of like mental processing and stress, it could have led to this Nine of Cups energy, which can sometimes indicate with the imagery of this card over drinking or overindulging in something. So somebody could have had some kind of crutch that they use to deal with feelings of being very, very stressed. Again, you could be at any point along this timeline. This could be your past, this could be your future. You may be at point A, you may be at point B. Take it as it resonates, and don't worry about when you come to this reading. It's kind of timeless. So yeah, somebody who's overindulging to deal with this. But the Nine of Cups also talks about following your dreams, your hopes and wishes. It's kind of like the minor arcana star card. So you could have had some kind of success in terms of like something that you wanted, and it felt really good. You celebrated that. And it's also a card about making yourself happy, not needing anything external to make you happy. So this period of processing here could have made you realize that you don't have to fear heartbreak because you have everything that you need on an emotional level. It's kind of emotionally independent, but it's actually sat here with this otter spirit. So it's like they're giving me the Halsey song again. Why can't you, why do you lie to the one, never confide in the one, something that you love? There's a feeling of being like fiercely independent, like I need to be emotionally stable on my own. I don't need anyone to make me happy. No, you don't need anyone, Leo, but that connection is beneficial to you. That takes you to your Ten of Cups, which is like you know, very, very happy. So yes, you can find happiness on your own. You can be independent. You know, maybe you think that relationships cause nothing but trouble. What they're giving me, something nothing but trouble, like girls ain't nothing but trouble, something like that. I think it's an old 80s rap song. So, but you have a very strong connection here showing for you, Leo. It's like, did you hear my tummy? I need to eat breakfast. I tried to eat a piece of toast, but I just wasn't ready for it. So it's my tummy embarrassing me there. But it's like, if you think about it, that tummy grumble, it was like the roar of a lion. You know, if I'm trying to work it into the reading, it's like one of my favourite quotes is by Queen Elizabeth I. She's rousing the troops to go to fight a war against Spain, and she goes out there and, you know, a queen that nobody's ever done this before, like it's kind of unheard of at the time, and she goes out in full battle armour, up on her horse, like this, right, riding on that horse in front of all those male troops who she's trying to convince to go and you know, risk their lives for her. And she says, I may have the heart and stomach of a I may be a weak and feeble woman, but I have the heart and the stomach of a king, and a king of England too. So, you know, very powerful energy. Fierce energy. This is like your match, Leo. Whether you're the Emperor or the Empress, this is like you you couldn't wish for a better match is kind of what it's coming through as. Let's keep going. What comes after the Nine of Cups for the Leo? Things keep on flipping over and going back in for you. I feel like definitely this cyclical energy of like potential. It's the Two of Cups with the Empress. Look, it's sat with the Empress, the Two of Cups. This is chemistry. This is you and another person who are like a perfect match. There's like, it's like the other half of your DNA. This person is, I love that. I love the image. This is one of my favorite images on any of the cards. It shows that Two of Cups connection so beautifully. Like this is Emperor and Empress energy. This is like perfect match, power couple, gonna take over the world together, but in the best way, right? I love it. It can be sometimes yin and yang. You know, maybe you are good on your own. Maybe you're balancing out the female and masculine energies within yourself to become kind of like a whole person. You know, you don't need someone else to make you whole. But if you get two people, right, basically, if you level up and get so strong and so independent that you don't need anyone else, there's no codependency there, and you're in very, very high vibrational energy where you're the Empress or you're the Emperor, and you meet your counterpart, you meet your match, it's like rocket ships. It's like you don't need that person and they don't need you, but together you make a brilliant team, and you know there's so much potential there. So do not miss this opportunity, Leo. King of Wands, this is your energy, wand energy. Again, keep showing up. King of Wands keeps showing up in your reading. The King of Fire, the King of Clubs. You've seen it 3 times now. Very passionate, very much go-getter energy, very much determined. I'm going to go and get what I want. I know what I want. I'm very clear about it. I'm going to follow my passions. I'm going to follow my stomach. I'm going to trust my gut. I'm going to be not impulsive. The King of Wands is the most mature character in the suit of Wands. He's going to have made mistakes and learned his lessons from them. And can you see he's not actually on the chair? He's not on the chair. So it's like he's saving space. He's saving that seat for his Empress, right? A lot of sexual energy with that King of Wands. My poor tummy. Again, King of Wands, he goes from his gut. So it's so funny. I'm sorry if you don't like to hear those noises, but to me it's really funny. It's kind of embarrassing that it's on the internet, but also like the embarrassment makes it funnier. The King of Wands is so passionate and determined. It's like if that Emperor has seen his Empress, is like, this is my dream woman, this is my counterpart, I know that this connection can take me to places, right? Together we can do anything, we can take over the world. The masculine energy is going to feel a very, very strong sexual chemistry with that Empress. It's like has to have her, hands all over her, right? So wow. Let's keep going, because I actually only got like 5 minutes left. I've not even got 5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes left. Oh, he's going to fight for her. There's something going on where somebody's fighting for something. This is competition and conflict. It's like the King of Wands is up for the challenge, though, whatever this is. It's like it's some kind of fight, some kind of battle, some kind of competition. Hopefully not physically fighting. I don't condone physically fighting, but it's like competition and victory. You can see this person in the middle is holding up kind of almost like a cog that looks like a victory wreath. So yeah, this person, this King of Wands, whoever this is, whether this is you or somebody else, this person is out. They're going to fight for what they want. And I think they want the Empress. And he's going to do it. The King of Wands, he's battle hardened, right? He's been the page. He's been the knight. He's fought the battles before. He's failed, but he knows not to make the mistakes of the past. Again, that Oasis song, don't look back in anger. Maybe don't look back in anger. Don't worry about the conflicts of the past, perhaps. There's the Knight of Wands. So we've got the King of Wands feeling like a Knight of Wands. Can I get a clarify? No, I'm going to come back to the Knight of Wands in a minute. Next card, please. Can I have 3 more cards for Leo? What is the end of this cycle that they're in? What is the end of this lesson that they're learning? This journey that they're on? How many cards is that? 1, 2. That's too many cards. Okay. I keep seeing this card. Okay, we've gone from Empress and Emperor energy and King energy into Knights and, oh yeah, gosh, what a brilliant card to end it on. Could be an apology coming with that Page of Cups. Okay, I think the reason why we've suddenly gone into Knight energy is this is communication happening. The Knights are communicative. The Knight of Wands, it's almost like this feels like a loss of self-control. It's with this Two of Cups, right? It's almost like a loss of self-control, feeling like a horny teenager again, I would say, because this person who's normally got so much control over their own passions, like so much self-control and so much authority in terms of like sexual expressiveness, maybe in the face of competition, there's some kind of loss of control where they act much more impulsively. Now, the Knight of Wands is in the upright, so it's positive energy. It's somebody who is taking action to get what they want. It's almost like off the lead. Like normally where the King of Wands has a lot of authority, a lot of, they hold back. Is something fires them up with this competition, which means that they kind of break out into a much more impulsive energy. It feels like a loss of self-control, but almost in a good way, almost in almost like being forced to act. But then it comes in with this guardedness energy here, this Four of Pentacles, which can be holding on to something of monetary wealth, but it almost looks like a piggy bank, right? Like my dad used to have one. It wasn't anywhere near as fancy as this. It's like a plastic thing, but it's one of these where you put a pound on it and the hand comes out and takes it and pulls it into the money box. So maybe you have something like that. I feel like somebody's saving money. It's almost like my hand. I'm just noticing I am actually trying to save money. Like if you see, like she's got the bracelet and the nails there. So I feel like somebody's trying to save money for something. Somebody's trying to build up some kind of tangible wealth, income, something like this. The Knight of Swords is also communicating. These two knights communicating, taking action, communicating. Action, communication, very, very strongly. So there's some kind of loss of control, there's some kind of impulsive action here, some kind of feeling very, very fired up, which leads to this need to save money, to put money aside for something, doing some more research here. This is information gathering, looking something up online, it can be stalking on social media. Somebody could get unblocked on social media. If somebody has been blocked, they're getting unblocked, or it could be that somebody's blocked and somehow somebody's still managing to kind of spy on someone. Take it as it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. But this to me is like after a period of feeling very impulsive, saving money, then comes in some kind of clarity and communication where somebody's gathering information or communicating news. But then it comes into this Ten of Pentacles. So here you go. This is your empire. This is your empire, Leo. This is you and that other person, having everything you could need on a tangible level. The Ten of Pentacles is like wealth shared with others, having that big house, the family, everything you could need on a tangible level, wish fulfillment in terms of tangibility, shared with other people, material things. And there's me, the tarot card reader, going, yay, well done, Leo. You got that empire that you were trying to build up there. So I'm going to just stop and restart and pull you an advice card. Okay, so again, you could be the Empress dealing with this King of Wands, or you could be a female in masculine energy, which is very much very mature energy here. It's loss of self-control. So take it as it resonates. Don't worry about the gender. Just take it as it fits. Now, I'm going to be super quick because I have less than a minute left now. So what advice do you have, please, for Leo or the people coming to this reading today? What's the best advice, please, that you can give to the people coming to this reading today? If you could be quick, please, because I have very little time left. There we go. Time to give rather than to take. So somebody needs to hear that. New moon in Virgo, a time to give rather than take. So take that if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. Also take this otter as your advice card. So you can go back and listen to that if you wanted to have that again. On the underline, you've got a new start is coming. Absolutely. The Empress comes in with a huge amount of potential. Take the opportunity when it comes. By now you should realize what you have to do, Leo. Do take care. Leave me a like, share with others if you think it resonates or it's their story. Do take care, and I'll be back with you again soon. Best of luck, Leo. Love to you. Otter love. A lot of otter love.